folks. Welcome back to Stranded Survivors. My name is Matt, and I am one of your co-hosts.
My name is Jericho. I'm also a host of the Stranded Survivors podcast. We are all about Ark. Matt, how are you doing?
Man, I am good. Finished one of my classes already, so that's like a big weight off of my shoulders. It was a 6-week accelerated course, so you have 16 weeks worth of work to finish in 6 weeks, and finally got done with that. And did I complain about the amount of homework that I did last week? Have I complained to you about that yet?
I don't think you have. I don't think so.
Okay, let me just humor me here for a minute, folks. So this past week, now keep in mind, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. I also work a full-time job, which is like between 40 to 45 hours. It's nothing crazy, but still. And I have a wife. So on top of that, I had to do 3 separate discussion board posts, which, I mean, they're like 400 words each. So, I mean, that's, thought and sites and sources and all that stuff, but nothing crazy. And then I had to take 4 tests that week, which, that kind of sucked. But the kicker, I had to hand in a 20-page business report. I had to hand in a 15-page children's literature analysis paper. And then I had to hand in a 12-page personal ancestry and American culture paper. So it was 47 or 48 pages. If you count my sources, it was 52 pages worth of crap that I had to type in the past week on top of everything. So it was one of those things that, you submit the final paper and you just lay your head down and I just want to sleep.
Man, that's a lot of work.
Enough about me, man. Yeah, but it feels good to have it done. But like I said, enough about me, man. What about you?
Let's see, man. Honestly, really just been chilling as always. Very little Ark, actually. A lot of Call of Duty with a lot of friends. That's what a lot of my friends play. A lot of them don't play Ark, so I don't play Ark with them anyways. I just play Ark with random people. And other than that, really normal golfing. You still got to get me out disc golfing, so you better remember.
Yeah, we definitely do, and that needs to be a recorded event, I feel like, so it's going to be fun. We got a couple people in the Discord that live in the same general vicinity as us, so I feel like it could be a pretty fun event if we get some of them coming. Like Disc Golfing Dad, he's pretty close to us, so we can invite him. He said he wanted to go out at some point, and it'd be fun.
Yeah, him, Rue, and
yeah.
Paleo. Either one, all 3 of them live in the same area.
Yeah. Oh, did they really?
Yeah, all 3 of them, I guess they all got each other, I don't know if you were reading it the other day, but, one of them got one into disc golf, the other one got one into Ark, and, they're all just, a big group.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's super cool.
So, that's cool. We'll have to definitely do that time. But yeah, man, other than that, just normal golfing. I've actually been, as always, enjoying doing that. So, kind of chilling.
Hey, that's awesome. What's your handicap?
What you said? What I get? Is that what you said? Sorry, I didn't hear
it. I said, what's your handicap? That's a golf word, isn't it? I'm trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Yes, it is. And you know what? I really don't remember what it is either.
At least one, he says.
I don't know what it means.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Speaking of, I don't know what it means, I want to use that to transition into the Dino Dossier of the week. Because 1, I don't know what it means. 2, I didn't know what it was. And 3, it sure is part of one of the stories of the week. So without further ado, I want to jump into the Dossier of the week. Now, I would like to talk, in relation to the mod episode we did last week, I want to talk about one of the mods that is on our server, and this creature is the Xiphectinus velix. It is a fish, I guess it sounds like a bird to me, but it's a fish. It is from the late Cretaceous period, and it is a carnivore with a frenzied temperament. I don't know what that means, but I had a bad time when I encountered one. It kind of looks like oh man, what's those words? A coelacanth, the little basic fish that just swim around and for some reason growl at you even though they're a fish, and they don't really do much aside from get eaten, bottom of the food chain in Ark. They look like that, but with some big gnarly teeth and some megalodon fins. So it was really confusing at first, and I had to get close to it. I was like, holy crap, that's the biggest coelacanth I've ever seen in my whole life. No. It is tameable, it is rideable, and it is breedable, believe it or not. You have to knock that bad boy out, and after you knock it out, you want to give it some superior kibble, some raw mutton, blah, 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 typical carnivore feeding methods. Anyway, without further ado, the Xiphactinus velux is a frighteningly fast creature lurking in the island's oceans. Most often appearing in groups, Xiphactinus can quickly overwhelm its victims. They have been observed to grab smaller prey in their terrifying jaws and thrash wildly to deplete their energy. When subdued, they will proceed to swallow the prey whole, something I have witnessed befall many unfortunate survivors. Do you have a hint of where this is going for the story of the week? Beware, Xiphactinus that have recently fed, as they will become frenzied from the clouds of blood they've created. For targets too large to be swallowed by its horrific maw, Xiphactinus will briefly grab their targets and proceed to tear off a chunk of flesh, causing the target to begin bleeding out. On several occasions, I've noticed Xiphactinus will attack other ocean species such as megalodon and even larger threats such as a mosasaur. Be glad that you're not their only target. Domesticated. Xiphactinus aren't very sturdy, but in groups they can cause some considerable damage and pretty effortlessly overwhelm an opponent with speed. If not used for combat, Xiphactinus are perfectly suited for quick navigation around the island's waters as well. I will reiterate, however, the importance of leading a group of Ziph. Love Helena. So you can see the emphasis on group. I have not tamed one. I've only had one encounter, but we'll get into that, when we're telling stories later. But this fish is a mod. I want to, again, specify that in light of last week's episode. It is a mod, but if you are really in the mood to turn Ark into a horror game and you want to make the ocean scarier than it already is, and, why not, I guess. If you're weird like that, like our server's weird like that in a great way, go ahead. Xiphactinus. Jericho, what's your thought?
You're talking about the big long thing that looks like a pike, right?
Yeah, it looks like a pike for my freshwater friends. For my not so freshwater friends, maybe like a thicker barracuda.
Yep, that would make sense. Okay, so I don't know if you know that's from Garuga's mod, correct? That one.
It doesn't specify exactly which mod it's from. It just specifies that it is a mod.
So, yes, it is a mod. It's actually in official servers. It was added.
What? Look at me not knowing jack diddly doo-ha. Whoa, it says here that it can be used to fight alphas, too. So this thing's pretty impressive, man. I gotta tame me one of these.
Yes, it's absolutely crazy. And you know what, one time there was, sorry, this is something I've just seen, it's not my story time thing, is that they can flop on land, and like if you're sitting on a PT and I decide to flop on land with it, I can bite you off your PT.
What? Can it flop back into the water, or is it just like doomed?
No, I can flop right back in.
That's wild. Dang, could you imagine this giant salmon barracuda hybrid just flops out of the water, rips you off your bird, and then drags it back into the water like some angry little Australian crocodile?
Yeah, those things, honestly, they need to be nerfed. They're the most OP creature. I do not understand how they even made it that OP, because none of it makes sense to me.
You know what? See, unpopular opinion here because ocean bad, but I get where they're coming from actually on this one, because the ocean has been, I don't want to say relatively stagnant, but they haven't done too much with the ocean, especially in Survival Ascended. So we just got the Shastasaur, and they had to make changes to that because, it wasn't quite working out the way they wanted. And now we're seeing this Zyphactinus, whatever the Ziff I'm going to call it. We're seeing this thing now. So they're trying to find a way to get rid of the old meta of having a squid be the OP thing in the water. And I mean, a squid can still grab this bad boy, so it's not like they're doing away with it completely, but they're at least changing the combat triangle a little bit. A little RuneScape reference.
Yeah. And that's fair, to be honest. It's just, like, absurd to me. Like, you're riding a dolphin, it can just knock you straight off the dolphin, and you cannot, like, it's so overpowered that you instantly...
Trust me, I'm aware. Goodness, well, I guess, yeah, you know what, we got to get into the story time now, but first we have to cover the name, so let's, this is a remix. Let's mix it up, and let's answer last week's question and poll now instead of at the end of the episode, so that way we can properly name and properly, give credit for Storytime.
So, the official name of Storytime, we had a couple votes here for what it was going to be. And the votes were Storytime, Ark Tales, Survival Stories, Arkers Archives, and Dino Diaries. So, coming in at last
great
place,
choices, by the way.
Coming in at very last place, that's how I'm going to say it, with 5% of the votes, is Storytime.
Hey, you know what? Humble beginning, grassroots, I'm okay with it. Rest in peace.
That's fine with me. And coming in at second to last here, with 10.5%, you got Arkers Archives.
Okay. That might have missed the target audience, but it's still a great choice. Good suggestion.
I actually like that too, to be honest. That one was a good one. And then next for third, technically third place here, at 15% is Survival Story.
Okay.
So,
also a good choice. I mean, there were no bad choices.
No, I mean, that's why they made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, hey, they were all pretty good. And coming in, might as well go straight to first place here, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, of course, you got to mention second after, but...
Yes. Coming in at first place, the man that loves to rig the votes, Ark Tales.
Of course, I knew it.
Yep, me too. We all knew he was going to rig the vote. He started handing out 20s to people.
I know, he's over here mailing $20 bills all over the world.
Yep, you already know he is. But in second place is Dino Diaries.
Okay, what percent did each one get? Was it a close one?
It really wasn't honestly that close. It was 26% for Dino Diaries and 42% for Ark Tales.
Got you. Okay. All right. So, I mean, there's a pretty clear winner there. And like we had said, there were no bad choices, but the people have spoken. So now for Ark Tales, brought to you by Dovahkiin. All right. So, Jericho, do you have any stories? Because, I mean, I can't narrow it down. There were two good ones that I had go on in this past week. Do you have any?
So, how about this? If you really got two good ones, would you be willing to tell both of your stories and take over my one here?
Absolutely. I hate to steal the thunder, but absolutely. So, man, crazy stuff. This, first off, because of the Ziff being the creature of the week, or however you pronounce that, I'm just going to roll with Ziff. It's not a Z, but X's confused me. So, I had no clue what this thing was, and I go down into the water because, water's scary, why not? I was feeling like a little self-punishment. So I get down in the water, and the first thing I see is a 150 dolphin. And I say,
Yeah.
Oh, I need a dolphin because this is why I went in the water. I got an Ascendant treasure map thingy from the Bob's Tales, and of course I couldn't pass it up, so I had to go buy the stupid bobtails because neither Steven or I had it, and we're in a tribe together. So I go buy bobtails, and it's in the ocean, and it's like 400 meters deep in the ocean is where I have to dig. And I was like, okay. I can't walk that. That's not possible. I can't swim down there. So I go tame me a dolphin, get that 150 as soon as I get in the water, give it some prime meat, perfect tame, everything's hunky-dory, and I swim it back over to the island that I had parked my wyvern on. And, whistle it to land and stuff, and I see what I thought was the biggest coelacanth I have ever seen in my entire life. And it had his back turned to me, so it just had like the weird shiny gray scales, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go make a fishing rod and catch that because it has to have something fantastic. So I come up to it because they've got the little percentages on them,
Yep.
or not the percentages, the multiplier. I come up on it because I'm like trying to predict in my head. I'm like, oh man, that bad boy's got to be like a 7.2 or something like that. So I go up to it to go see what the number is, and as soon as I get up to it, it whips its head around, turns a 180, and I see the teeth, the little barracuda teeth poking out. And before I could even react, like my heart sank and fight or flight, nope, I froze. And I just sat there and stared at it for about a half a second. And in that half a second, this bad mamma jamma runs up, rips like barracuda speed, barrel shots right at me, rips me off of my dolphin, and then it holds my dolphin in its mouth for like 2 seconds. And I was like, okay, no problem, whatever. I'm going to whistle my wyvern on neutral. And before I could even finish my thought process, I watched, when those stupid Pelagornis come down and or whatever the heck the things are that rob your inventory?
Yeah.
It was holding it in its mouth like that, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then just like it shreds your box of narcotics, I watched my dolphin disintegrate into bubbles in a red cloud, and I was like, wait a minute. What? Wait, what? And there wasn't really a red cloud. I'm being dramatic, but still, my dolphin disappeared before my eyes. It was traumatic. And I just sat there and I just accepted my fate at that point. And it came forward. It killed me shortly after. And I spent probably the next 20 minutes just staring in shell shock. And I have not touched, I got another dolphin to go get that treasure map, and I haven't touched water since then.
And you and the water are just not it, man.
No, something always happens. Like, it can never just be, oh, hey, I went to the ocean and I did a thing and it was great. No, it's always got to be an adventure. And sometimes that's great, but not when the ocean's involved. And I'm a glutton for punishment. So when I get in the ocean, I don't put in any of the commands to get rid of the fog or anything like that. So I just take the ocean for what it is and its blind, terrifying fury. And it makes it more fun, but also way more spooky.
Yeah, I was going to say, you imagine, you at least, you didn't necessarily know it was coming because you thought it was a little coelacanth or whatever. But you imagine if it just randomly, if you were just going through and you just got taken off your tame, you would have been so scared.
Oh my gosh, if I didn't see it coming, yeah, I would have absolutely lost my mind and probably woke my kids up.
That's great.
It was a little spooky. So, haven't touched water since then. But that has nothing to do with the other type of liquid that I was struggling with in the Ark, because pyromanes, fun fact, I don't know if we talked about it or not when we talked about the mods, but they can swim in lava. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, so a pyromane, if you're on the back of it, you can swim in lava with absolutely no issue. And I found that out on accident because I was going caving, trying to prepare myself. I've got 7 of the caves pretty much memorized. There's only 4 more I gotta get. But I'm trying to learn all the caves so we can do a caving episode. And in one of the caves, there's this jump puzzle that you have to do with downed pillars and stuff like that. And we'll talk about that in the episode. Yeah. I was at that part and I was trying to go up with the pyromane. I glitched, and as soon as I got done glitching, it launched me a solid 50 meters straight sideways. I bounced off the wall, fell down into the lava, and I accepted my fate, and then realized I wasn't taking damage. I was just swimming. So, yeah, just swimming. Not me, but on the back of the pyromane as if it were water. And I whistle my wyvern down. And I'm sitting here okay, so the wyvern's going to be able to get close enough. I can get on the back of the wyvern, pick up the pyromane, and I managed to pull it off. I jumped off of the back of the pyromane. The wyvern was low enough that I was able to get on its tail to ride it. And then I swooped around, grabbed the pyromane to go leave, and there is an invisible wall, like a floor pretty much, an invisible ceiling, if you
Oh.
will, that blocks getting high enough back up to get out. So it's almost like there's a wall blocking me to get just high enough to be able to make my way out and be safe. So I'm sitting there trying to figure that out, and after about 45 minutes, it's almost like 2 a.m. at this point, because this is, the same. I just finished one of my papers. I figured I'm going to go relax. No relaxing. And I gave up at like 2:30 in the morning. I put my wyvern following the pyromane, and then I parked the pyromane out of the lava and on like this itty bitty little rock that poked just out of the lava. I put everything that I had, my armor, all the like Ascendant blueprints and crazy crap that I had gotten from the caves, because it was like my third cave at that point. I put all that stuff on the pyromane and then just, fell back into the lava like that guy in the subway in the movie Volcano. Yeah, so it was a rough experience, and then I went back the next night with Joe Daddy, because he was like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll go on a rescue mission." I'm all salty. I'm like, I'm gonna do it by myself. I don't need no stinking help. And I try to go do it. He follows me into the cave like the great tribe mate that he is, and I'm sitting there trying to figure it out. He, like a hero, goes down and jumps off on his pyromane, manages to get over into the area. We pod up my pyromane. We get my wyvern whistled up back up to me. If you're not riding it, you were able to whistle it above the invisible barrier. So whistled it up, potted that, and it got to the point where we just had to get Joe Daddy out. And he was like trying to figure it out. And he says, "Okay, give me just a second to think." And what I heard was, "Hey, I need you to do something right now." And that's not at all what I heard, but that's what I decided to hear. And I shot him right in the face with a grappling hook. And I start dragging him, and I drag him away from the rock. And he's like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, "Oh, no, I got you. And I back up as far as I possibly can, and I almost have him over the edge. And I think to myself, if I just jump a little bit, he'll glitch over the edge, and it'll be perfect. And as soon as I jump, fun fact, that disconnects your grappling hook when you jump. And I drop Steven into the lava, and he's like screaming and panicking. He manages to crawl himself up. I don't know how he did it, but there's like a literal, like, if he had picked it up, it would have been like 4 stone probably that he was able to stand on, and it managed to keep him out of the lava. He got back on the lip, and then I shot him in the face with a grappling hook again and pulled him up to that exact same spot, but I learned my lesson this time. And I got him at the perfect angle, and then he was able to shoot his grappling hook on the ceiling, and then I could grappling hook him from the ceiling, and like, it was like 3 or 4 shots, but we managed to get him back over the edge. We got everything and everyone out safely, but it took like a day and a half. It was hilarious.
Wow. That sounds like an absolute show.
Dude, it was, man, it hit the fan, and it sprayed all over the wall. It was rough, but it was hilarious. I will not be able to forget Steven's screams as he falls into the lava when I accidentally dropped him.
Oh, I can already hear them right now.
Yeah, my boy looks like Darth Vader. Good times, man.
First time here.
Yeah, what an intro to Ark Tales, presented by Drew, a.k.a. Dovahkiin. The man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, man. Kind of the, meat and potatoes, as you say, of today is going to be, the cosmetics here. Like, just the cosmetics that are being added to the game or being added to servers, different things like that. So what is our first one here that we have on the list?
Yeah, so according to the Community Crunch that was just released, this is Community Crunch number, let me scrolly polyoly, Community Crunch 415. They are introducing onto official servers, we have 5 new custom cosmetics. The first one, additional light sources. Now, this very simply put, this mod adds server custom light settings, or light sources, that is, such as candles, lamps, and a chandelier. Perfect to decorate your cozy house. Man, Jericho, looking at these pictures here, that kind of reminds me what I would expect, like a hunting lodge or a very, very rustic cabin to look like. like
Yeah,
chandeliers and
I
like the elk horn chandelier.
yeah, it definitely, from looking at them, that's definitely what it looks like here. And then the candles, I mean, they look kind of cool. I don't know, but I mean, I really enjoyed the chandelier. That actually looks.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, of course, the greatest part about custom cosmetics is that you don't have to use them if you're not impressed by them. If it doesn't tickle your fancy, you don't have to use them. But in the event that I were somebody that really, really liked hunting, then I would probably get pretty excited about this one.
Yeah, I definitely would too. I mean, it definitely adds a little more aesthetic. Of course, PvP, you're not going to use it. It doesn't do anything. PvE, I think is.
Hey, in a PvP server, you can still have a pretty base. You can still do things for aesthetics. You just have to understand that your base is a booty and it's going to get wiped.
Yeah, it definitely would get wiped.
He has no response to that other than yep. Okay. Anyway, moving on. The Deimos Cosmetics Warrior Girl. Let's see here. Where's the description? Add a custom cosmetic Warrior Girl. Fantastic description. Um. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
would love
the
to.
pictures look cool. It's just like a little warrior girl. Like, I don't even know. Does that look okay? Am I thinking wrong, or does that look more like almost like a medieval girl?
Oh, there's the images. Uh, actually, hold on a sec. I'm not. It's not showing any of the images to me, so that's why I'm so confused. I didn't realize there were images.
I mean, either way, it's
Um.
like a
Hmm.
not a dress. I don't know. I personally think it kind of looks like an assassin type. I don't know. A warrior. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really look like a warrior to me by any means. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm not good at explaining things, Matt.
Um. It's loading ever so slowly, so I'm almost able to give you an opinion. Oh, okay. Um. Hmm. That looks like a Fallout 3 raider.
Well, you got a
Or
better description than me.
alternatively, in my opinion, it looks like the Forsworn from Skyrim.
But it doesn't really look. Does it really
Yeah,
look like a
so
warrior to you?
Skyrim nerds, Forsworn. Uh, no. I honestly would have called it a huntress personally.
That's fair. That's.
I would have
I
called
mean,
it
it's
either a
cool.
huntress or a maybe it's got a bobtails feel to it, a little Manifest Destiny western, I guess, like, well, what I would expect a lady who robs banks in 1850 America to look like.
Yes. Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, she looks like I don't know, she would be one of Calamity Jane's posse.
Uh-huh.
Huh, interesting. All right, so that is Nada, is her name? Oh no, Nada's the next one. Yeah, Nada's a
Yep, that is
different
the
one.
next one. That's
So that is also Deimos Cosmetics, right?
yep.
Beautiful, beautiful. This one is described as, what did that description say? Was it a Native American? A Native American
Yeah.
woman?
It's definitely gonna have to be. It's called a I think it's called another warrior girl for my thing that I read. But yeah, it's definitely like a Native American girl. Got like just a bunch of ropes like around her head, has a necklace, and really does look, and it has like actually like tattoos of like kind of like tribal tattoos.
Yeah, that's what the description says, was adds a Native American girl. Yeah, they did a good job with that. So what I'm hearing, and I mean, actually, I'm gonna save this opinion till after the next one because just keep note of everything we're seeing here, people. Okay. Let me plug in my laptop. My battery's dying. Me too, battery. Me too.
But I mean, otherwise, she's got a gun. They use guns, or am I just a dummy?
Um, yeah, that's a whole like historical context thing we're getting into there, but definitely, yeah. At some point during westward expansion, there was trade between settlers and Native Americans, and there was an exchange of guns. So at some point in history, yes, it just depends on what point in history, but anybody who has learned any of Ark's lore knows that all of the survivors were put into the Matrix, or not the Matrix, geez, were put into the Ark from multiple different time periods. They all have an enigmatic matrix, I believe, in their head that helps them translate things. Like the implant helps you translate languages in real time. So it's all these different peoples from all these different times being mixed together. And, it's pretty nifty, I think. If you are somebody who wanted to role play or express your culture that way, that's awesome. Next up, we have Clifton's Cosmetic, or Clifton's Outfits, a casual top custom cosmetic. This is a tank top with a rainbow across the front of it, and they have it in male and female varieties, male and female character varieties, that is, and they are adding this as a tip of the hat to Pride Month. So a lot of these custom cosmetics all seem to be based around different types of inclusion that may not have been represented as fully throughout the Ark lore. So I'm excited to see the representation. That's important.
Yeah, definitely. The representation is definitely important, especially for everything.
Absolutely. Yeah. The fifth one that we had was the Klinger Additional Skin Cosmetics Atlantis Vacuum Compartment. So this is an Atlantis-themed vacuum compartment skin. It has 5 variations: 1 simple open, 2 simple closed, 3 open green crystal, 4 closed green crystal, 5 open purple, 6 purple closed. So they said that there is an issue getting it to work with some extra, basically you got to remove the walls, ceilings, floors. Like there's a bit of an issue to it, so look into that before you use it. However, it seems to be pretty cool. I mean, Atlantis is something that I have always found a super interesting, conspiracy theory, I guess, if you will. So any sort of underwater temple, I think, is pretty cool. And to be completely honest with you, I'm surprised something like the structures I'm looking at here aren't already in the main game. Like, that should be a point of interest somewhere where there's a massive underground, an ocean civilization that once died that you need to, like, go through the underground city. I think it'd be cool.
Honestly, one, they could add that as like a DLC type thing, be right. But I'm surprised that they added necessarily this skin into the game when the way they're going is they want people to buy things, not necessarily pay to win. That's what I would. Microtransaction. Surprised they didn't just do it themselves.
Me? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of am surprised about that as well, but who knows? They have all sorts of fun things planned on the horizon for future DLCs and downloads and stuff like that. So, for all we know, they could be working on something cool like that. We're still waiting to get our interview with a wildcard employee, so until that happens, we may never know.
That is correct. But also, on the topic here of community crunch, really, next Friday / like what, 3 days, 4 days away, get aberration news.
Ooh, what do you think the news is going to be? Do you have any speculation, or have they given us some sneak peeks, or?
They've really not given us anything. I think we're just going to learn the release date, the predetermined release date, and figure out what they're going to, hoping they don't delay. But we know they always delay.
Yeah, I don't want to be a naysayer, but if it's not delayed, I would be more surprised. Huh. Well, that's pretty cool, man. I'm looking forward to that news because I've never really played too much of that server or that map, but I'm here for it. I see in the future, I could see our cluster growing and growing as we get more and more people, potentially as the Discord grows and as the Patreon grows. We'll be able to invest in more servers, so who knows? The world is our oyster. I'm excited to hear the news.
So really quickly, I just wanted to get a little update because I forget. Matt, did you say you wanted 200 Discord members by the end of the year? Is that one of our goals?
Yeah, it was 200 by the end of the year. Yep.
Okay. We're at about 113 to be this exact time and date. So make sure you guys, if you're not already, make sure to come join the Discord and, let us know what you guys think and just come join our awesome community.
Yeah, tell your friends. The more the merrier. And if you know some like minded people that want to get in and get some good information and get into a community to make some Ark enjoying friends, then please don't hesitate to invite them. And also, if you haven't yet, again, join the Discord. And if you have joined the Discord, rate us 5 stars on whatever you're listening on because that really helps us pop up on the algorithm.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Jericho, I'm gonna beat you to it this week. Jericho, do you want to thank our patrons? I feel like I talked a lot this week, so I'm gonna make you do it.
Yeah, sure that I have everyone right. I know, like, I pretty much know everyone, but I just want to confirm because I don't like to miss people, unlike some other people here. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Hey,
throw shots.
I don't like to do it. I just can't be trusted.
Yeah, so we got Pop at $20 at Helena's Angels. We got Gabriel at Helena's Angels tier. We got Dad of Twins at the Dung Beetles tier. We got Drew at Helena's Angels. We got Ariane at Beach Bobs. Thank you guys for being our Patreon people. Um, Definitely owe you guys things. We'll get working on that. And just thank you
Yeah,
guys
we
for
gotta
that
catch up
support.
on those giveaways. Oh god.
Yes, we 100% got to catch up on those. Thank you guys for the support. Definitely got things coming. Um, so just make sure if you guys haven't joined that, go and join that. Go and join the Patreon. And if you have, you guys are highly appreciated. But either way, a like, a share, join in the Discord, listening, anything, we appreciate it all, no matter what.
Yeah, even if you don't listen, even if you just be like, "Hey, you play that weird dinosaur game? I heard about this one podcast." Just do that. Anything.
Exactly.
We appreciate you all. All right, folks. Um, Jericho. Oh, we already did the question of the week. All right, I was about to be like, oh, we gotta answer the question of the week. What about? Do we have anything? Do we have anything we haven't answered yet? Are we good?
We got two things we got to do yet, Matt.
Oh, see, I can't be trusted. What are those two things?
Okay, so we got to answer the question because that was the poll.
Shiver me timbers.
And then one thing before we answer the question though is what is a custom cosmetic slash skin you want to see added to the game?
Oh, gee whiz. Custom cosmetic or skin. You know, we talked about this earlier, and I had like 40 minutes or however long we've been doing this to think of something, and I still failed to do that. Um, One custom cosmetic or skin I would like to see. And I mean, maybe it's getting away from the nature of the game, but I would like to see more fantasy crossover skins. Like maybe give us a skin to make an Argentavis look like a gargoyle, or um the Yeti to look like a zombie or something like that. Like, I don't know, something more fantasy and less. I don't know. I'm getting into these mythical creatures like the pyromane and stuff. I'm digging the fantasy crossovers. So I would like to see more skins that not necessarily change the game because pay to win's bad, but I would like to see some cosmetics that change the appearance.
Yeah, I
Maybe like in RuneScape they had like the, sorry to interrupt you again, but like at one point in the RuneScape 3, they had, you could get like your pets could have lightning coming off of them or could leave a trail of flames behind them when they walk. So maybe stuff like that. Who knows? All right, your turn.
like that. I mean, just kind of like what they did with the water. You're supposed to be certain games. You see the water behind you when you.
Yeah.
I think my thing would be like kind of the collab that I'd want to see, and I don't know if this would go well with a lot of people, but I like if we could figure out like a Star Wars one. I don't know. I know there's not necessarily a lot of animals, but I feel like we could add some Star Wars skin.
There are some creatures like you could turn a parasaur, not a parasaur, but a parasaur could be turned into a tauntaun, maybe. Cut that bad boy open with a lightsaber and sleep inside of it so we don't freeze to death.
Or like the what are they called? The walkers, the big walker robots could as like a racer.
Yeah, what is it? At ATAT, something like that. Yeah, Star Wars would be a good collab. Okay, so now see, that changes things when I'm thinking about it that way. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Well, other than that, I mean, that's kind of, maybe that'll be our question this week, right? Custom cosmetic would you add if they could add it to the game or collaboration?
Oh, I changed my answer. You made me change my answer. Thank you.
Oh,
I
okay.
appreciate that. I've rethought it, and I would like to rephrase my answer. So maybe if they did a Pokemon collab, because I know there was a mod at some point that added Pokemon to the game, but that would be cool. And my kid would lose his ever-loving mind if there were Mario cosmetics. So
Yeah.
to make yourself look like Mario, Luigi, Wario, Donkey Kong, Bowser, stuff like that, my kid would crap his pants.
But Matt, we're gonna get into the question here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question was what is a mod we absolutely must add to the server? Joe said, I'm honestly loving the mods we have, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick net projectiles.
I guess I didn't realize that wasn't already in the game.
Yeah,
Good idea.
they got rid of them in the game because remember we used to have them in ASE, but we don't have them anymore.
Yeah, and they were pretty solid. It made your life a lot easier as a small tribe. So I second that motion.
Yeah, I do too. Honestly, I did like them. Other than PvP, once you got those things, man, you could net anything ever. And
You're a monster.
next up, we got Drew. He goes, can't think of any we don't currently have. So I guess instead, a mod we should always have. And if we didn't, should most definitely get is Draconic Chronicles S tier.
Do we? I know we have the Draconic Chronicles, but I don't know if it's S tier or not.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. He thinks it's S tier, and he says it's a mod we should always have.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
And then, Matt? Who's up next?
Hail Hydra.
Right, Hail Hydra. I won't answer this question because I'm not part of your server, but instead, I'll ask you a question. Oh, this is a mix-up.
Ooh. Uno reverse card on us.
What are this is what he says, what are my top 3 favorite Ark animals? Jericho, I'm the only one who said no to Sweet Kibbles. Thank you, Hail Hydra. You're the man.
Hail Hydra, you traitor. Thought I could trust you. So I am asking for clarification. Do you think he intended to ask us to guess what his favorites are, or do you think his intention was for us to say our 3 favorite? Because I'm not sure how to interpret that, and I want to make sure I interpret it correctly.
I'm going to say we're going to guess his 3.
Okay. Let's see. If I were Hail Hydra, what would my favorite dinos be? I play on the Switch, so that means I hate my life. I'm just kidding, Hail Hydra. I love you. Let's see. Jericho, what do you think? Help me out.
I'm going to go with, for my answers here, for my 3, I'm going to go with Pteranodon. Everyone loves a Pteranodon. Then I'm going to go, maybe it's not necessarily in the game. I'm going to go Griffin, because he's just said 3 favorite Ark animals. And then I'm going to go, those are both flying dinos. So I'm going to go the classic T-Rex.
Okay. Can't go wrong there. I think that Hail Hydra likes mischief. And I think, as a result of the love of mischief, I'm going to attribute his favorites to being a Mesopithecus, a dimorphodon, and a wyvern.
Okay. I think it's Wyvern actually.
Yeah, that's the only one that's a good answer, but I stick to my other ones.
That's fair. Next up, we got Will the Thrill. Tip for Drew: the visual storage has drop box that work like cranes, but you can place it anywhere. And then he goes, I thought HR was contacting you because we heard Kibble. I feel tricked. One mod type I love is RR Deco.
Sorry, I didn't mean to trick anybody.
That's fair.
If it makes you feel any better, we're like a 2-man company here, and if anything, my voiceover company's sponsors it. So I guess I am HR. So I'll slap myself on the wrist and tell myself to knock it off, and I'll be back. Don't worry.
Thanks, Will. Zephyr says, I think more well-designed dinos would be nice. So you guys should go for Ark Edition dinos from Garuga, which, like I told you, the Ziphis or whatever you want to call it, then the Certosaurus, both have been added from the Garuga mods to every single. So they have a few more dinos, but
What did you just say?
the Certosaurus and the Ziphis or whatever you called at the start of the thing have both been added from Garugas to the official part of the game, and he has more dinos though.
I got you. I heard Ceratosaurus as Sodasaurus at first, and I'm sitting here picturing something that's like shooting barrels of
Yes,
Diet Coke out.
I would tame that creature every day.
Come in and Jericho's just filling up glass after glass. Get out!
Yes. Arion says, I'm not really sure about the name, but the mod adds a trank machine gun. Seeing we got some quality of life mods already, this one adds some more quality to taming and knocking out process.
Did my man just say a trank
Machine
gun? All right. BC, little help here, bud. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Freaking awesome.
That's kind of wild, to be honest with you.
That's up there with like the mod for Fallout that gives you the nuke machine or the nuke minigun.
Next up, Dad of Twins. Says, I'm pretty content with the mods we have, but felt bad for leaving you guys out of last week's answer. So to remedy this, hi Matt, hi Jericho, keep up the good work, fellas.
Buddy, you're that guy, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Sadly, the only sad part about that for me is Matt's name. But I can bear with it. I understand. Matt's a cool guy.
Hey, first in the hearts and the minds of the people, at least the people in my mind.
And then Hop goes, there are already too many mods, in my opinion. Okay.
So I'm going to need you to simmer down.
Hop, we appreciate you. I've enjoyed your series so far, so keep up the great work. And no, you did not kill our podcast by coming on, by the way.
Yeah, this poor guy thinks that he did not do us a service, and he's so wrong. So I would like to say, for those of you that have not yet checked out Hop on Ark's YouTube channel, go do that. And for those of you that have not yet joined the Discord that he advertised, Gamers Guild, go do that. Hop, drop another one in the general chat so people can join. Okay, thanks.
And then Gabriel, again, dude, all these people have crazy. Like, I've seen Joe, Drew, Hail Hydra, Will, Zephyr, Arion, Dad of Twins, Hop, Gabriel, and then Blaze. Like, all these people have just been balling out, commenting like every single week. So one, just had to shout you guys out. But next up, we got Gabriel. The pull mod is very neat when it comes to get the item you want without getting through all your vaults. I agree. That is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't have, right?
I don't think we do. And if we do, then I'm not smart enough to use it. So I hope we don't, so that way I don't feel like a rascally goofball.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure we don't have. But you know what it does, right?
Not quite. Is it just like basically acts as the crane, but from a greater distance?
Kind of, yeah. It's like a what's it called? Like, you can, like, you and I went farming. We got 90k metal. You can just click it, like you said. It's really just Yeah, you just click this thing, and you can transfer all the metal to this location. But you can do like 50 things at once. Like if you wanted to do wood, charcoal, flint, whatever, and you can all put them in like one spot or wherever you want to. It's pretty cool.
So that actually sounds really, really cool because, in my heart and in my mind, I love to stay organized. But in practice, I'm too lazy sometimes. So that would be really nice for those of us that like to just dump our inventory.
I agree with that. Blaze is up next. He goes, I second Gabriel. Quality of life plus polling is a must. Don't go for AA polling, though. It's a lot worse. But definitely quality of life polling or modern decor for that homey feel.
Boom. You heard the man. Don't make him say it again.
And next up, we got Micah. Goes the thorax spider or the monolophosaurus.
The thorax spider?
Yes.
He wants to add some spooky Harry Potter looking spider? Okay, I see you, sir. Have you ever seen the movie 8-Legged Freaks, Jericho?
No.
Okay, so first off, that comment just reminded me of 8-Legged Freaks. So when we get off of this, that's your homework. Go look up a TikTok or a YouTube video of 8-Legged Freaks. It's basically like, I think it was a radioactive something or another, ended up making all of the spiders of this town absolutely ginormous. So like, it was like a zombie apocalypse movie, but with giant spiders. Yeah. So that's what that reminded me of. 2 out of 10 would not recommend that mod.
Okay. But that is all we have for this week. We didn't hit my little goal. Maybe because people don't listen to the end. I don't know. But no. But we didn't hit my goal of votes. But this week we should be up at least a little bit longer. So maybe, you guys got a couple more days to vote. Let's try to get to, I said 50 last week. That was a little high. Let's go 30. I feel like we can get 30 votes. We're close. We're close to 30. Let's get 30 votes for the poll this week. Make sure to keep answering the questions. Let's see if we can hit a higher amount of comments than we did last week and see if we can beat our record yet again. So, no, but thank you guys for listening. Matt, it has been fun.
This has been fun. This was great. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you made it this far, you're the real MVP, and thanks for dealing with our shenanigans this long. Alrighty, folks. Well, that's all she wrote. And we appreciate you hanging out this long, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. So have a good one.
Goodbye.